So the episode starts with Taseki and Smiley. They chilling poolside. And Taseki asks her, what did she think about the girls in the house? What did she think about the club last night? And Smiley says she had a good time, but it's like every time they get together, it's always a fight. It's always a mess. Facts. So Taseki asked her, what did she think about Biggie? And she said, Biggie's cool. Yeah, she liked her vibe, good energy. And Taseki said that, sometimes it looks like she's misunderstood, but she does like her. And Smiley says she agreed because that's the same way she felt about Wovicki. And Taseki says since Wovicki left, everything has been a shit show. And that's facts. So then she was like, all they doing is catfighting. But they ain't really fighting at all because they look stupid. And she was saying they're real fights. They're supposed to be missing a tooth, have a black eye or something. But all they doing is play fighting. It's ridiculous. And she says she is on here because she trying to get to the bag. She trying to get the money, but all they doing is fighting. And it's draining. So here's my thing. Taseki, y'all had a nice conversation. You sat here in her face, smiling, okay, and only to turn around and watch this girl get jumped. And if I'm not mistaken, when y'all walked away, y'all was saying y'all love each other, but you watched her get jumped. So I'm referring to when they was talking poolside and they walked away. I'm not referring to after the beatdown. But when they was poolside, as they was getting ready to leave and go get dressed, they said they love each other. And you watched this girl get jumped. It was disgusting. Throw the whole damn season away. I don't like none of y'all. Okay? None of y'all. And in Rollie's live, she said, we ain't seen nothing yet. It gets worse. And Taseki, Smiley's supposed to be her girl. You in confessionals talking about her. You doing the same thing Rollie and them was doing. If you didn't believe that she didn't have a miscarriage, you could have pulled her to the side. But to smile on her face and then be in confessionals saying that she lying, it's weird. Like you and Camila was in her room. Y'all hugged her. You should have dressed up with her then. But to sit here and jump on the bandwagon down in the basement was pathetic. And I don't like none of y'all. So in the next scene, it's Rollie, Scotty, E.T., Natalie, and then Mariah Lynn with her flip-flopping self. So they talking about how T showed up to the club and bounced. And I would have too. She made her appearance and she left. I don't blame her because, trust me, I'm sure they would have found some reason to fight that girl. So I would have left too, girl. Get the money, get the bag, and bounce. Because that's why you're here for. You're not here to be fighting. Because I wouldn't trust none of their ass. And so E.T. said that she actually had a talk with T and said to her, I don't want any problems. And hopefully you don't want any problems. And they said they wanted to move forward. I mean, that sounds all good and dandy. But when T was with Camille and Sky, she didn't mention anything about y'all having a conversation and making up and trying to move forward. So somebody lying. I would honestly keep my distance from people like Rollie and Scarface, who had the nerve to ambush her and then to come and apologize. I wouldn't take that serious at all. So Natalie is bored. She wants to see some fighting. So she tells the girls that she invited the other house to come over because the house that Natalie is in, they don't do any fighting. And that's true. Y'all instigate, y'all bully, and y'all start mess with people. And then y'all ambush people. So yeah, you're right. Because every time they sit down and talk, it turns into a fight. So Natalie is the instigator here. She is playing a game. Natalie likes to be entertained, so therefore she'll put people in situations where they have to fight. So then Mariah brings up that Smiley took her chain and her charm. So the chain isn't real, but the charm is. And she said her glam team saw the charm in Smiley's room. But Mariah said now she knows that Smiley really does have her chain. Well, yeah. I mean, the girl took the chain from you at the audition. So who did you think have it? She took it from you. She snatched it and you don't have it back. So obviously, yes, she still has it. So Mariah Lynn saying she's going to approach Smiley about the chain and also about her not really having a miscarriage, which is nobody's business at all. So Natalie asks Mariah who told her the night before at the club that Smiley didn't have a miscarriage. And Mariah Lynn said Taseki saw her put a tampon in. Fake Taseki. Now you're showing yourself. You full of crap and you're just so fake. So Taseki went back and told Mariah Lynn that Smiley put in a tampon. So Rollie talking about, well, we should confront her about this miscarriage thing. And then also, Mariah, you can get your chain back at the same time. So this was a plan for an ambush. So in her confessional, Mariah Lynn said she is fed up with playing hide and go seek with her charm. So I'm thinking Smiley is telling her she don't have the charm and perhaps she's trying to keep it for herself because the charm is real. If that's the case, then yes, Mariah Lynn has every right to approach her, but she done had this chain for 3 months. Why are you waiting now to approach her? And yes, you should approach her about the chain, but to approach her about a miscarriage is inappropriate. It's traumatizing. Whether she lying or not is nobody's damn business. And people respond to trauma differently. They really mad at this girl because she lied. If she lied, we don't know. But Rollie lying all the damn time. Talking about she didn't bite Biggie, but she did. It's like Rollie, they give Rollie a pass, but everybody else deserve a beatdown. Not only that, Suki and Sapphire said that they were against bullies, okay? And they was going to check all the bullies and had the nerve to check Smiley. But y'all didn't check Rollie. Y'all didn't check E.T. So everybody's coming in picking on the weakest link. So Suki, you came in and did the very thing you claim you was against. And it's crazy because every episode, somebody new is pissing me off. And Suki, I'm surprised at you. I did not expect this behavior from you. But I want you to keep that same energy and go at Rollie and E.T. for bullying T. Like, this episode had me in tears. And I mean real tears. I cried for Smiley. Yes, she does need her ass whooped for taking Mariah Lynn's chain, but Mariah Lynn should have did that, not the whole damn house. And she's getting questions from every angle in the house, from every person around. That's an ambush, and it's attacking, and it's hostile. Oh, I'm surprised she didn't run, because I would have. And then Rollie had the nerve to ask her where her discharge papers. Heifer, she don't owe you nothing. You are not her employer. She gonna ask this girl for her discharge papers. I can't. But Smiley did say they were in the van or truck. I mean, so she had the papers. And I know last week I believed that she was lying, but right now I'm not so sure. I honestly think she did have a miscarriage. So I wonder who's the other target. Who's the next target? Because y'all like ganging up on people. Who's next? Y'all did Smiley. Y'all did T. Who's next? I think it's going to be Biggie. So in the next scene, Anna and Biggie, they both going to urgent care. Biggie was bitten by Rollie, and Anna hurt herself when she was fighting DJ Sky because she still had that damn ring on her finger. So they get into it according to Anna Mac, but we didn't see it. Apparently they had an argument. So we going by word of mouth because Anna said they had an argument inside the urgent care, at which one point she had to throw a blanket and hit Biggie in the damn eye. So apparently, according to Anna, she was getting upset because Biggie was throwing her weight around because she's an OG and she was kind of sunning Anna Mac. So Anna Mac apparently got kicked out of the urgent care. She's on the phone talking to somebody. I'm assuming it's production. I don't know. But she's saying that Biggie act like she runs shit. What she should do is run to the gym. And she's still on the phone with production saying that she got kicked out of the hospital. Girl, next. I'm not doing this with her. Let's move on to the next scene. Girl, bye. And next. So the next scene, for some odd reason, T wanted to meet up with Sky and Camila. Yes, I do think they have good energy. They've always positive, not very biased from what I see, but could be fake. They could come off to me as fake. Well, anyway, she wanted them to pull up because she felt like she had a connection with them or whatever. So they pull up and Sky gets out of the car talking about where was, well, she was actually yelling, "Is that my friend? Is that my friend? Where was this friend when y'all was go-karting and she was ambushed by the three amigos? Where was this friend then?" Ugh. Even if they didn't help, they could have broke it up. They could have at least go out to see how this girl was doing. They did none of that. And you want to be around them? And some people say they didn't do that because they were trying to be mutual, but no, they was up Rollie's ass. Okay, they still could have went out to go check on T because they ran over to Miss Piggy. So T said she's been staying in the hotel. She hasn't been to the house. She don't plan on going back. She is trying to keep a safe distance. And y'all remember, Scarface said she had a talk with T. And so Sky asked her, what was going on with her and Scarface. Did they have issues prior to coming on the show? And T was like, no, I don't know this girl. And I think that the reason she is attacking me is because she has a crush on me. Okay. So Camille was like, can y'all sit down and have a talk? And she said she don't care to have a conversation with Scarface. But Scarface said y'all already did have a conversation. So I'm confused. Maybe I heard that part wrong. I don't know. But Sky tells her that they're having a house meeting. And every time there's a house meeting, somebody fighting. So T was like, she gonna sit this one out. Y'all call her on Zoom. So in the next scene, Biggie is coming out and she's giving us more context on what happened with her and Anna Mac. And clearly it was all a misunderstanding. So Anna Mac was obviously aggravated and she really didn't want to go to urgent care. And she really didn't want to be there all night because we know urgent care, you would be in there all night. So Biggie was saying, okay, y'all send her a truck and send her on her way. It sounds like she was trying to do a favor to you, Anna. She was trying to take you out of your misery. Instead of you complaining about it, you should thank her because she had empathy and sympathy and saw that you were miserable. And being the kind-hearted person that she is, she suggested they send you a car and send you home. What's wrong with that? So yes, clearly it was all a misunderstanding. So Biggie was like, she can't wait to get back to the house because she knows Anna is going to twist it around and make Biggie seem crazy. And that she did. She did just that. She went and turned the story around in her favor to have Biggie looking stupid. So Suki and Sapphire, they pull up to Natalie's house and she's pretty much giving them the recap on what happened since they've been gone. And she is completely biased, only giving one side of the story. And that side of the story is, the girl she's in the house with. So she brought up the issue that Rollie and Biggie had a fight. And she made Biggie look like the villain and Rollie the saint. She lied and said Biggie got beat up. And she did the same thing with Scarface and T. She painted T as the villain and Scarface E.T. as the saint, saying that T got beat up, which she did. That was factual. But to make them the villain, it's completely biased. And I can't stand this girl. She running around here getting all the entertainment she wants, orchestrating these fights, but hasn't knuckled up with anyone yet. And then she said that Biggie shows up unannounced. Girl, she texted you the day before. Y'all been texting about her pulling up. And now you make it seem like she bombarded the house. And Suki was like, she ain't got time for all this fighting. She just came for the free drinks and food. So Natalie is still giving her a recap of what's been going on in the house. And then she was like, well, that ain't even the half of it because there's drama with this Smiley girl. So she wanted to know if Sapphire and Suki knew Smiley because she from Miami. And Smiley claims to know everybody. So Natalie was like, she's a compulsive liar and she seems to know people and everybody. And she was saying like the house knows for a fact that she didn't have a miscarriage and she's lying about that too. So in her confessional, Suki said Natalie is talking about how there is so much going on in the house, but she believed once she gets in the house, her presence can bring forth good energy, but it didn't. As we'll see later, she got on the bandwagon and went at Smiley. However, in her defense, she did have every right to address this problem with Smiley. So what happened is Smiley's into the black market, right? So she can get anybody's and everybody's phone number. So she ended up getting Suki's number and she texted her and said, I just beat up your friend, Mariah. So Suki was trying to figure out, who she was and how the hell she get her number. So Suki says she wants to make her understand that what she did wasn't cool. Otherwise, if she don't address her now, she's going to keep doing it to her or other people. And I felt she should address Smiley, but I don't think it was the right time because she was getting jumped on by different people all at once. You got Rollie questioning her about her discharge papers. Then you got Suki in her face about, her texting her phone, which she had every right to do so. I'm not excusing that at all. And Suki felt that Smiley was causing trouble, and I agree. When you text someone saying, I just beat up your friend, that's causing trouble. And yes, Suki had every right to address her. So they finally get to the house with everyone else because Natalie had called a meeting, aka fight. So now we finally get to the basement, okay? And Smiley is sitting down, chilling, enjoying the vibe. Little do she know, they about to rattle you up, girl. So Rollie pretty much came straight out with it. She asked her, I'm going to be honest, I think you lied about having an abortion. And Smiley was taken aback. She was like, what? No, I wasn't lying. I did have an abortion. I really did. Whether she lied or not, I don't give a damn. She did it for the check, just like you had surgery for a check. If I was given the opportunity, I would go for the check too. So Smiley and Rollie is going back and forth about, whether she's lying or not. And she's still saying, no, I really did have a miscarriage. And this isn't the first one I had. So yes, I'm going to respond differently. So in the midst of that, I believe Sapphire or Sukihana asked her, where is Mariah Lynn chain? Did you use the charm to make a ring for her son or something? So Rollie then proceeds to ask the girl for discharge papers because she said going through a miscarriage, there's different stages. Girl, you not her fucking employer. You don't get to ask her for discharge papers. That is a damn shame that they put her through this. And the girl looked scared straight. She was scared and terrified. And what made it so much worse is that everybody was saying she was lying. She didn't have anyone that gave her the benefit of the doubt, which made the situation even worse. And it was sad to see. So then Suki put her 2 cents in, and then she talking about she see all the girls are ganging up on her and she don't want to be a part of that, but she was a part of it and she ganged up on her too. So she was putting her 2 cents in about a message that Smiley supposedly had sent to her phone in relation to Mariah Lynn. And I agree with Suki, that was some troublemaking stuff. So yes, she should be approached for that. But for y'all to gang up on her at the same time, it really wasn't necessary. What wasn't necessary is to question her about a miscarriage. That ain't nobody's damn business, okay? And it wasn't necessary. Yes, Mariah Lynn addressed her about your chain. Yes, Sukihana addressed her about the disrespect. But to question her about a miscarriage and to cause all this chaos, it was so unnecessary. So Rollie gets pissed off, okay? She get pissed off to the point that she felt necessary to throw a drink at this girl. And of course, Mariah Lynn took that as an opportunity to get up and fight her. So as Rollie threw the drink, Smiley got up and she said, listen, we're not about to do this. And she took her jacket off. Next thing you know, Mariah Lynn took that as an opportunity to run up only to get her ass whooped. So Mariah Lynn ran up and Smiley threw that little girl on the ground, on the couch, and she was on top of her, pounding her. I mean, she was protecting herself. So everybody in the background, get him, Mariah Lynn, get him, Mariah Lynn, get your chain back, get your chain back. So they had to put AA batteries in your back for you to get your chain back 3 weeks later. So they broke the fight up, security, and Smiley, obviously in pain. She just had a miscarriage yesterday. So she went in the kitchen and she was leaning over the sink holding her stomach. Y'all. So she did all that, but still didn't get her chain. So Sukihana and Sapphire went up to her and said, listen, bitch, go get your chain. Go get your chain. So Mariah Lynn goes in there and try to fight the girl again. No, have to get your chain and bounce. You had one job to get your chain and you still didn't do it. She had to be hyped up to get her chain. So that was the end of that scene. But next week, honey, it ain't over. Next week, we see Sapphire grabbing Smiley by the neck and slamming her to the ground while Mariah Lynn is punching her. Oh, but that ain't it, honey. So after that, apparently Smiley went to the internet and told everybody she got jumped, which she did. So Sapphire felt disrespected and she wanted to fight Smiley. So then they get to fighting for no reason, child. Everybody was so weak for this. Mariah Lynn, you had so many opportunities to pop on Smiley, but you didn't, girl. You waited until everybody put a battery in your back to go and get your damn chain back. Like, you look like a clown. You had every reason to fight her, yes, but why do you have to be pumped up to do it? Once again, Natalie started this fight. And so did Rollie. It wasn't even necessary. So what, the girl lied. Rollie lying. So to make a long story short, yes, they jumped Smiley. And if I'm not mistaken, Mariah Lynn kicked her as Sapphire took her down with a headlock.